Hello everyone, it's Meg. Welcome to a new video. This is actually a refilm for the intro of this video because I did film an intro. Just started to get ready to edit the video now. It turns out that it was completely out of focus. I have never done that before, so I have no idea how I managed to do it. So I am just quickly refilming the intro for this video. So as you guys can tell from the title, this is my updated bookshelf tour video. I have been meaning to do this for a while. I have been putting it off, but I finally filmed it a couple of weeks ago. I do have a previous bookshelf tour. It was done like quite a few years ago. You can go and find it if you want to, but I haven't done a bookshelf tour since I got my white bookshelves. And I currently have 3 bookshelves. They're all the IKEA Billy bookshelves. I have my main one behind me here, and then I have 2 like skinny ones at the end of my wardrobes. I really love my bookshelves at the moment. I love the whites. I love my room in general, to be honest with you. I would potentially like to do a room tour at some point because I've been taking my time like getting this room to like a really nice safe space, and obviously my bookshelves play a big part in that. I don't know how many books I have. I know some people kind of count for these videos. I have no idea how many I've got. It's probably in the hundreds. But yeah, I have not counted and I probably could not be bothered to count, to be honest with you. So yeah, like I said, we're just gonna have like a nice chill chatty time going through all of the shelves on my bookshelves, telling you about my books, how I order them, obviously sharing some of the trinkets and stuff that I have on my shelves as well. And yeah, I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. I did actually enjoy filming it a lot more than I thought I would. I think I just kind of filmed it in my own way, kind of just going through all the shelves, like I said, and just chatting to you guys about books on it, in like a very like casual way. So I really hope you enjoy it. I haven't watched any of the footage back yet. I'm going to go and edit it now after sorting this intro clip out. But yeah, I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. And if you would like to see like a proper room tour at some point, let me know in the comments down below, because I am definitely interested in doing that, because like I said, I really like how my room is at the moment, and it'd be nice to kind of capture it in like a video format. But yeah, let me know what you think. For now, please enjoy my updated bookshelf tour. So let's do a quick overall. So this is my main bookshelf, aka my jungle library. I can't actually give you guys a full overview standing up like this because of the lens that I have on my camera. But basically this is the overview that we have here. I have my monstera plants. I have some different like pothos, like hanging plants on the top of my bookshelf. But right here, which you can't quite see, I have my record player, which is on top of my TBR cart. So let's start with my main bookshelf here, which is, like I said, the one that you guys see most in my videos, and I can take you through each of the shelves and kind of show you the books that I have on there and kind of all the trinkets and all that sort of thing. So excuse the audio because I'm talking like behind the camera for these bits, and also I've just changed my lens so you guys can see the whole of the shelves. So this is my like top shelf of my main bookshelf. This is my first adult fiction shelf. I do have another one which is on my skinny bookshelf, which we will show you guys in a bit. So most of these books are the ones that I've had for the longest time, like on all of these shelves. The newer books that I tend to have are on my other shelves. So trinket wise, I have like a little cup here, a little shot glass, whatever you want to call it, which says Table Dancer on it. I also have a shell which my grandma got me a very long time ago when she went to Australia. And then I have some perfumes just on the right because I have nowhere else to put them, so they live on my shelf. So I tend to read contemporary adult fiction, that's just what I prefer. So I have some really stunning ones, like an OG Eleanor Oliphant is Completely Fine by Gail Honeyman. I still need to reread this. I have been meaning to reread this for the longest time. So that's something I definitely want to get to, if not this year, you know, fairly soon, in the next few years. But yeah, so this is like my OJ. I do have 2 copies of this. I have in hardback, which is also at the end of my shelf. I also have my very beloved Sarah Winman books. I don't actually have all of them. I have, on this shelf, I have 2 of them on another shelf, which I'll show you later. But like Year of Marvelous Ways, which is my second favourite of her books. I really love this book. And then I just have a little stack here because I'm running out of room. So we have M's books, which are The Dating Equation and Heartbreak House Share, Really love love her books, and really excited for what else is to come out. We also have the Lido by Libby Page. All of my Libby Page books are on this shelf, and there is a sequel that came out last year to the Lido, which I still need to read. I feel like I need to reread the Lido, to be honest with you, but I think I'm gonna like read a summary, so they don't have to reread the entire book. And then I just have my two Erin Morgenstern books here, which is obviously The Night Circus and The Starless Sea. Then I have Invisible Life of Addie LaRue. I didn't love this book as much as other people did. However, I do plan on reading, and I have pre-ordered V.E. Schwab's new book, which I must admit I am really intrigued by, so we're going to see how I think of that. Then we have Authenticity Project, really love that, bit of Holly Bourne, and then my other Libby Page books, which are The 24 Hour Cafe, The Island, and The Vintage Secondhand Bookshop. I wasn't a massive fan of that one actually. I mean, I enjoyed it, but I wasn't like obsessed. And then we have my second copy of Eleanor Oliphant is Completely Fine. And then I have two Laura Kay books over here, which is The Split and Tell Me Everything. I really enjoy Laura Kay. I think her books are really fun. So this is my first shelf. So my second shelf is my classic shelf, and this is the one that I probably add to the least, even though I have kind of added some fairly recently in like the past year. I must admit this is a little bit of a dumping shelf because I don't really have like a dresser or anything to put stuff on, so I have like my watch and like a little bowl with like little bits and pieces like I don't know, earphones, tape measures, all random stuff like that, and I have like another perfume, and I also have a few vintage cameras or just cameras in general on my bookshelf. So I have one here which was I think my great granddad's. And then I have a candle which I'm too scared to use because I don't think this company exists anymore, which is an Animal Crossing candle. Love Animal Crossing if you didn't know. And then I have a little vase which my sister got me for Christmas. Oh, let me show you, so it's in the middle. It's very, very cute. I can't wait to put a couple of flowers in here once like spring and summer is like, you know, fully here. And then just ignore the sunglasses up here. I have nowhere else to put them, so they are staying there for the moment. So this first shelf, I've actually turned a lot of these books around because the spines get bleached and I don't want them to get bleached. But this first bit is mainly Pride and Prejudice retellings, and if you didn't know, I love Pride and Prejudice. It's one of my favourite Jane Austen books, and I have quite a few retellings, and I do have a retelling video which will probably be up before this video, which I've been meaning to film for years, so that'll be around if you want to go and watch that. But I have a few, so I have Mary B by Catherine Jane Chen. I have Mr. Darcy's Diary by Amanda Grange. Longbourn by Jo Baker, very good retelling, do love that one. Secret Diary of Lizzie Bennet by Bernie Sue and Kate Roderick. I absolutely love this book, and I love the YouTube series that this book is based on. Highly recommend like watching that and reading this book if you love Pride and Prejudice. Charlotte by Helen Moffat. This is like a Pride and Prejudice retelling told from Charlotte's perspective. This was alright, slightly unbelievable, but I still enjoyed it. And then I have a Pride and Prejudice, a retelling by Laura Wood. This is basically like a dyslexic friendly retelling of Pride and Prejudice, which was written by Laura Wood. And then I have a few other classics like Alice in Wonderland. I also have Sided with Rosie here as well, which is Turned Around the Wrong Way. I also have Mariana by Monica Dickens. This edition is stunning, let me show you. So this is a Persephone Books edition. So I went to their shop in Bath, and this is stunning, and they all have different end papers. So this is what the end papers look in this one. Really stunning, and I really love this book. If you are a fan of like I Catch the Castle, Anne of Green Gables, I think you will love this book. It is really fun, and definitely a hot water bottle of a book even, which is what the description that sold me when I originally got this book. Then I have all of my Anne of Green Gables books. That I do want to eventually get a set of books that are all the same. I think I want to get these editions. I'm not sure what editions these are actually. So I think these are the Virgo Modern Classics editions, and I think out of all the books I have, these are the whole collection I want. Like, look how stunning that is, come on. And then these are some of the other editions that I have. For some reason there's only 4 books in the series in this edition. I don't know why, but there is. So I think, I don't know what editions these are. These are Aladdin editions, I believe. But yeah, I do really enjoy these, but like I said, I can't have a full collection, unfortunately, of these because there's only 4 of the books like in these editions. Then here I have some more Jane Austen books. I think these are the Penguin Red classics, I think. I would actually like to get all the editions of these. I have Pride and Prejudice, Emma and Sense and Sensibility. I really want to get the Persuasion one because I want a really nice copy of Persuasion to reread, and I don't have one, so I want to try and get the copy of this. And then I have Mrs. Dalloway by Virginia Woolf as well. So then here I have Wuthering Heights by Emily Bronte. Never read it. I do want to give it a go and see what I think. And then I have Persuasion again. I really don't like this copy. I think it is quite ugly, which is why I want to get a nice version that I can reread and annotate. Then these are some more editions of Jane Austen's books. I have Mansfield Park and I have Northanger Abbey. I've read both of these. They're actually my least favourite Jane Austen novels, but I love the covers of these. I found these in a charity shop years ago, and I wish I could find the other editions of Jane Austen's books that go with these because I think they are stunning. Then I have a very battered Penguin cloth bound classic version of Sensibility. This was trashed. I think I dropped this in the bath or dropped a drink on it or something, which is why it is absolutely knackered. Like the back is alright, but everything else is a bit trashed. And I feel really sad, so do not hate me for the fact that I've accidentally ruined this copy. I do actually have 3 copies of this book for some reason. I don't know why, but I do. Or 2 actually, I lie, I have 2. Then I have this beautiful copy of Little Women by Louisa May Alcott, and you may recognise this book as Jo's book that she gets made at the end of the Little Women film, like the 2019 one. I never wanted to read Little Women until the film came out, and I love this book. And it does have little pictures as well, from the film, little film stills and all that sort of thing, and I absolutely love it. This is definitely a copy that I will treasure, especially because, like I said, it's just like the book that Jo got published, and I absolutely love it. And then I have a few other fancy editions, and then I have this copy of Jane Austen's 4 novels. I think it has Sense and Sensibility, Pride and Prejudice, Emma and Northanger Abbey. I think this is from Costco. My friend got it me for Christmas a couple of years ago. This is more of a collector's edition really. I've never read from it, but it has beautiful gold foiling, and yeah, it's just very, very pretty and just looks gorgeous on my shelves. So this is the shelf where my Monstera starts to get in the way, so don't mind that. But this is my middle shelf of this bookshelf, and this is my YA mental health and LGBTQ plus shelf. So I tend to try and put my mental health books on this side and my LGBTQ plus books on this side. Obviously there's a bit of a crossover sometimes, which is why. So I have lots of glasses on here, just because, like I said, I have nowhere to put them, but they're fun ones, heart-shaped ones. I have some fluffy ones as well, which are quite fun. I just wear these for Pride and fun photo shoots. And I have a lot of crystals on here as well, which I love. I do really enjoy crystals. I do use them quite on a regular basis. And I have my little burrito plant, which is looking a little worse for wear these days because I keep dropping it when I try to clean my shelves. So I have this big stack of books here because, like I said, girls running out of room. But I have some classics, booktube, YA classics around the shelf. Becky Albertalli, obviously. I have Felix Ever After, Boy Queen by George Lester, which I think is highly underrated and really enjoyed this, so I honestly recommend that. Date Me, Bryson Keller, really love this as well. I have Full Disclosure, Aristotle and Dante Discover the Secrets of the Universe, absolute iconic book, and there is a sequel that has come out and I haven't read it, and I feel like I need to, so I do need to get to that at some point. Then I have some other books like Arden Grey. I have All About Romance, or Roman, I guess. I really love this book. I read it last year. Highly recommend, especially because I've never really read a book like it before, so I feel like it's a very good book. And also it's got a northern author. It's set in a town near Newcastle, which love that. Then the rest of my books along here are all Alice Oseman books, and I have the original UK paperbacks of Radio Silence I Was Born for This and Loveless. I also have them for This Winter and Nick and Charlie here as well. I just, again, have turned them around because the spines are getting bleached. And then I also had the new paperback covers for Alice's books as well. I don't have all of them because I don't want all of them, but I have a few. So this is one of my favourites of Radio Silence. I absolutely love them. I love that Alice got to design them. I think they are really, really stunning. And then I also have Solitaire, which is the only Alice book I have not read. I did try the audiobook and I didn't really like it, so I don't know whether I'll try it again, but I love this cover. I think it is absolutely stunning, and there's Nick and Charlie in the background, cute. And I also have This Winter as well, and Loveless as well, which I didn't show you before, but I love this as well. I think this is really beautiful and I love this story as well. So on the left side I have a couple of albums throughout my bookshelves. This one is Rainbow by Kesha. If you guys didn't know, I love Kesha. She's like one of my favourites artists ever, along with Chapel Lunacy. They're like my two top faves. So one of the books I have on that stack there is Found Girl by Rainbow Rowell. I think this is like the only book by Rainbow Rowell that I've ever read, because it's the only one I'm interested in really. But I love this book. I would actually quite like to reread it because it was such a comfort when I read it. And I know that there is a manga series kind of adapted from this book, and I would really love to read that as well. So maybe I'll get to that at some point. But I also have Murder on a School Night by Kate Weston, and I also have an arc of Kate Weston's debut novel here, which is Diary of a Confused Feminist. I have the published edition next to it as well. Really love this as well. I have recommended this quite a lot in the past. I still recommend it. I think it's an absolutely stunning book, and I really wish that it was around when I was a teenager. And then you can't see very well over here, but over here I have Turtles All the Way Down. Again, an absolutely iconic YA book. I've read it a couple of times and absolutely adored it. Okay, so this is where we might start to struggle a bit more again, because hence plant in the way. So I will do my best to move it. But this is like my YA standalone shelf. And as you can see, I have my vision board here, which I do love vision boards. I've been doing them for quite a few years now. So that's my vision board for this year. And I also have some more crystals as well, and like an incense holder. I'm going to move this camera when we do the other side of the shelf, so you can see a bit better. But let me move my plant. And I have another vintage camera as well, because like I said, I have quite a few. I'm going to try my best to show you guys these books without battling this plant. But I have some really fun books on here. So I have The Upside of Falling by Alex Lights. I actually did a reading vlog for this quite a few years ago actually. I think I got it in a subscription box, this book, and I really enjoyed it. I loved it so much more than I thought I would. It's just a really fun YA book, and it has baking in it. It has a bakery, so if you like bakeries, I think you would definitely like this book. Zoom you in a little bit more whilst I continue to wrestle with my plant. But then I have a few novels in verse. I love novels in verse, by the way. If you have any recommendations, please let me know, because I haven't read one in a while. But I have Moonrise here, which I have turned the other way around because I don't like how bright the spine is. Then I have Run Rebel by Manjeet Mann, Blood Moon by Lucy Cuthieu. This book is stunning. I think it should be required reading in schools. It is absolutely beautiful, and I feel like more people need to talk about it because it is so good. And we have one of Em's other books, which is mine, which is her debut novel. I love this book. It's probably my favourite out of all the books she's written so far. I love the topic. I love that it's set in York. The cover is also stunning. Lisa Williamson, I feel like, is somebody who I've not heard from for a while. Maybe it's just because I'm out of the loop with YA books these days. But I loved her books kind of at the beginning of my YouTube and kind of book journey. This is All About Mia. I do have one of her books as well, which I think is in the shelf above. Then, of course, it wouldn't be a YA shelf with a bit of Holly Bourne, so we have the Yearbook and Places I've Cried in Public. Enjoyed both of these. Then I have an edition of Housemarque Castle by Diana Wynne Jones. This is the new paperbacks that have, or the cover designs that have come out kind of within the past couple of years for this series, because this is technically a trilogy. Then I have, I think these are all Jenny Han books, yes they are. So we have the To All the Boys I Loved Before trilogy, and then these, which are turned around, are the Some Right and Pretty. And these are the original covers. I'll show you the first one. That might be a bit bright, but these are the original covers. I actually prefer these to any of the other covers I think that I've seen from this series so far. But I really love this. I know it was a bit outdated, but I have watched some of the TV show and I really enjoy it, or what I've, watched so far. Okay, so I've moved my camera so you guys can see this side a bit more. But then I have Girl in the Goddess by Nikita Gill, and this is honestly so underrated. I absolutely love this book. The cover's stunning. I annotated it quite a lot. It's a novel in verse again, beautiful like coming of age story that kind of includes like the goddesses and all that sort of thing. It's beautiful, it's stunning. Highly recommend if you haven't read it already. Then we have some other like classics like Perks of Being a Wallflower. Love this book, love the film. I have Elizabeth Azevedo. I have actually unhauled her other books because I found out that this is the only one that I like absolutely adore. I also have my Polaroid camera here, which I love. I love my Polaroid camera. I'm just very bad at using it. Then I have Heartless by Marissa Meyer, one of the few fantasy books I have ever read and own. I love this book. I read it years and years ago, but I love it. It's like a retelling of how the Queen of Hearts became the Queen of Hearts, basically. I think it's very clever. It definitely pays homage to the original Alice in Wonderland story. And even though it's been out for a while, I still recommend it. Like, if you haven't read it, I highly, highly recommend it. And then lastly on the shelf, I have Jo and Laurie. This is a retelling, spoiler alert, if you haven't watched Little Women, Jo and Laurie end up together, basically. I did enjoy this. It wasn't outstanding, but I definitely enjoyed it, and it was a really interesting read. We're on the second to bottom shelf now, and this is going to get quite difficult to film, so bear with me. But this shelf is basically my series shelf. I don't read many series, but the ones that I have read are on the shelf, apart from the Jenny Han books, which are on the shelf above. So I don't have many trinkets on here. I have a few pop sockets, what they're called, pop dolls, whatever they're called, Funko Pops, that's the word. So they're all Alice in Wonderland themed. So I have the White Rabbit, I have Alice as well. I would like the live action Alice versions, I think they are really stunning. And then I have the Mad Hatter one as well, which I also adore. And I also have another album as well. This is another Kesha album, High Road. Obviously I love her. You will literally see most of her recent albums out on my bookshelves at some point. So I'm going to show you the shelf in two parts because it is a bit more difficult to film. So we have the Caraval series, again another fantasy, get me. But these are the original UK hardbacks, and I love this series. Like I said, I'm not a fantasy girly really, but I did really enjoy this series. So I have first editions of Caraval and Finale, and also Spectacular. Legendary is the only one that I don't have a first edition of. But obviously they are beautiful with the gold and the two colourways as well on the spine. And then these books here are my Ali Carter books. So for some reason I have the last book on here. But this is the Gallagher Girls series by Ali Carter, and this was my step into YA many years ago. And I absolutely love it. I would like to reread it, but I'm also slightly scared that I will not love it as much as I did the first time. But we'll see. But I absolutely love this series. I feel like it's a YA, just a YA classic in general, to be honest with you. I loved anything spy back in the day as well. So I have all of these, and again, they're turned around because some of the colours on the spines are starting to bleach, and I do not like that. And then the second half of the shelf is basically my Heartstopper collection, and there are many different copies of the Heartstopper books out now. However, the only ones that I collect, apart from obviously the original paperbacks as they come out, is the Fairy Loot editions. So I have volumes 1 to 4, which are the ones that are out at the moment. I don't have, not all of these are signed, I think maybe volume 3 and 4 are signed. But they're all beautiful, they're all stunning, they've all got different foiling under the jacket and all that sort of thing. They're really beautiful. And I also have the TV edition of the first volume. I just feel like I needed to get this. I don't usually get the film or TV covers of books, however I think this was an exception. I needed this in my life, and I love how it pays homage to the original one as well. Look at that, how cute. And then I just have some fun other Heartstopper books, like the yearbook, which I have read, absolutely adored, and the colouring book, which I haven't used yet, and I got as a present for Christmas a good few years ago now, and I still haven't used it, so I definitely need to do that. But yeah, it's just fun. I love Heartstopper, like many people in this world, and I am, so glad that it is a story that exists. Okay, so we made it to the ground floor. I hope this camera level is level enough because you are currently balancing on a box. But the bottom shelf here is my poetry collection. And I do actually have quite a lot of poetry books. I have read all of these, apart from maybe some of the collections that I have, or anthologies even. I probably read like a few, dipped in and out of them, if you will. I don't have many trinkets here, to be honest with you. I have a card that my godmother made me a few years ago for my birthday, which is cute. Got sweet peas on it, one of my favourite flowers. I have a Cheshire Cat figurine, again, Love Alice in Wonderland, which I got for a present. And then I have this mug that I got in a subscription box a few years ago, and I also have a stamp. So this, you can't see from there. You can't really see, to be honest with you. This is one of those like personalised library stamps that you put in a book with ink. I absolutely love this. I love this idea, and I have used it a few times as well, and I really, really love it. A lot of the books are actually quite skinny, so I'll zoom you in a bit on each of them. So we have an array. There's not really an order to this, to be quite honest. It's just I tend to do books in high order when it comes to poetry. So I have lots of different ones. I have, like, say, Nikita Gill, Wild Embers. I have a couple of Nikita Gill books on my shelf. Some of them are a bit hit or miss to me, to be honest with you. This wasn't one of my faves, but I do have some other books by her which I absolutely adore. We have Every Word You Cannot Say by Ian S. Thomas. I loved this book when I first discovered it. It spoke to me so much. If you want to see why, you can pause and read the blurb of this, because I loved it, and I have lots of tabs and annotations on this as well. I also have a couple of like writing poetry books as well, like How to Be a Poet by Jo Bell and Jane Cummane. I love this book. This is like a bible to me for writing poetry. I have another book kind of similar to this from the same authors, and there is another one that's out that I also really want to read. And we have some Jen Campbell, who is a fellow booktuber as well, Girl Aquarium. We have Sunshine by Melissa Lee Houghton. This is one of my favourite poetry collections. I absolutely adore it. It's also by a local poet, which I really love. We also have some classic K. Tempest. I think you need a bit of K. Tempest if you read poetry. This is one that I read the other year. It's their latest collection and my personal favourite. Absolutely love it. Moving on to the middle, we have a bit of Rumi poetry. This is the Penguin Classics edition. And I also have a little bit of Corny Pepperneal and some Rupi Kaur as well. Homebody is my personal favourite. And you've got to have a bit of Carol Ann Duffy as well. So this is The World's Wife, which I haven't read all of actually. I've started reading it a while ago, but I haven't finished it yet. Also have a bit of John Glenday, again, one of my personal favourite poems, personal favourite collections as well. Really, really love this. I also got to watch him do a live reading as well a couple of years ago, which was really fun, and got this signed. And then, of course, you have to have a bit of Mary Oliver. I have a few collections by Mary Oliver. This is one of them, Blue Horses. I also have 1,000 Mornings, Dog Songs, and Devotions as well. And I plan on, getting through all of her backlist. I absolutely adore Mary. I also have some of these little black Penguin classic books. I just generally buy these because if I'm a pound away from free shipping on a book order, I just tend to get them. So I have a couple like Jane Austen, Oscar Wilde, Lewis Carroll, Rainier Maria Rilke. Oh, I'm still terrible at pronouncing that. But yeah, they're the ones that I've got. And then I just have some collections here at the end, like A Poem for Every Day of Autumn, really, really beautiful. And these are some of my favourite poetry anthologies. These are illustrated and chosen by Chris Riddell. This is the first one. There's 3 of them that he's done, and they're all illustrated inside. And I really love the selection of poems. They kind of all go on a theme. And again, I have met Chris Riddell and gone to a signing, and I think he is, a really cool person. I really like his art, and I love the poems that he chose in these collections. So now we're on to my TBR card, which is next to my main bookshelf, as you can see. So this is a general overview. I just have it kind of snucked in, and I have my record player, which is on the top, and I have a plant here, and I have my records down here, and a painting that I did a while ago, which is there. So let's go through the top shelf. So let's start. So on the left here, I have poetry books. Quite a lot of these I've had for a while, but I have recently replenished my collection. So I have a bit of Wendy Cope here as well, and Ocean Vuong, Holly McNeish. I've been meaning to read for ages, so I finally got a full-on collection by her. I have some classics, which are Get Life, Chloe Brown, not actual classics, booktube classics. I also have The Story of Art Without Women by Kate, I can't remember her name without lifting this book up, Kate Hassel. I've wanted to own this book for ages and I finally got it last year. And then these are a couple of books that I got in my book advent calendar from Rare Bird Books. So I have The Rachel Incident, Bellies, and My Name is Marmee. I'm really intrigued to read all of these books. I'm really excited. And then we have some like new releases for this year. So we have Deep End by Ali Hazelwood. Never read an Ali Hazelwood book before, but this is the first one that's kind of caught my attention. So I am really intrigued to see what I think. I'm gonna definitely save this for summer. And then we have Manga, which has already been out, but the paperback came out in February. So I am really excited to get to this. I've heard lots of good things, so really excited to read it. And then I basically have this little mug here, which is like a camper van. I had this for years, but this just houses all my bookmarks, basically. I have quite a few, even though I don't actually use a lot of them. I tend to use the same ones. But yeah, I just keep them here, and they also come in handy for like propping the books up here, as you can see. This is the second part of my TBR cart, and again, I don't have much of an array. These are usually the books on the bottom have been on here the longest, most of them at any rate. So I have my Dark Vanessa, which is one of the ones that's been on here the longest. I do definitely need to read this, but I know it's quite a heavy book, so I just, trying to make sure I'm in the right mindset to read it. Then we have The Lifeline, which is the companion / sequel to The Lido by Libby Page. I also have Sorrow and Bliss by Meg Manson. I really want to read this book. Heard loads of good things. And then I have a couple of other books like Open Water, which I've started and not finished, Opal and Nev, Tomorrow, Eat, Pray, Love, a classic. Have watched the film, have enjoyed it. I do want to read the book, but I have a feeling it's not going to be anytime soon. Then I guess there's a couple of non-fiction mainly on this side. So I have Hood Feminism, Why I'm No Longer Talking to White People About Race. I have a Virginia Woolf book here for some reason randomly, and Sign of Affection, which is a manga, and then a couple of others here. And then these are the other mangas that I have that I currently want to read. So I have Cherry Magic and Twilight Out of Focus and Skip and Loafer, which I watched not so long ago and absolutely adored. I think this is going to be one of the ones that I pick up next because it was just so refreshing. The main character was so refreshing, and I think it was just a really fun story. So these are my other bookshelves that you guys don't actually see that often in my videos. I have to kind of stand in the doorway of my bathroom so I can show you it all properly. So as you can see, I've got a tall skinny one and a short skinny one. And these have more of the recent books that I have bought, and I love these shelves. I think it's particularly my tall one on the left here. It's my fave. I have some books I really love here, and I just love how how the shelves look, how I've decorated them and organised them. I think they're just really, really stunning. So let's go through them in some more detail. Okay, so we're back to the awkward angling because we're on the top shelf. But this shelf here is my graphic novel shelf. They have all of my graphic novels on here apart from the Heartstopper series because, like I said, it needs a shelf of its own, really. So I don't have many decorations on here. I have another Kesha album. This is her last album, which is Gag Order. Really, really stunning. And then I also have this little duck, which my friend got me for Christmas. It's like a little gingerbread duck. Yeah, really cute. So like I said, this is all graphic novels. A few of them, I do have a few manga on here. Some that I don't have all the collections for, but I have read. So some of my personal faves. This one, highly underrated, but I really think more people should read it. Alison by Lizzie Stewart. This is about the art movement in London in the 80s. I think it's 70s, 80s. That contemporary art movement. I love that era of art and kind of the artists that were around at that time. And I love this. This was beautiful. And as somebody who is loves art and is a creative, I really appreciate the message of here. Yeah, it was really beautiful. I really wish more people would read this book. Then of course we have some classics like The Prince and the Dressmaker, we have Bloom, Everyone's an Alien When You're an Alien Too, If You'll Have Me, not heard many people,
talk about this, but I really love this. The art style is also really stunning. How to Be Ace, this is like a memoir by the author, and this is again one of my personal favourites. It's very personal to me. I've read it a couple of times now. I've not heard anybody else talk about it, but I do really love this. And we have Everything Is Okay, again one of my personal favourites as well. This is about like mental health, and it does also have creativity tied in with it as well. Really, really beautiful, and this author does have a couple of other graphic novels out, and I definitely want to get to them soon. Then this is one of the manga that I just have on their own at the moment that I've already read. So this is Blue Period Volume 1. I have watched the anime of this a couple of years ago, and I read this last year. I really enjoyed it. I need to get to the other copies, but I do have a couple of series, as you can probably tell from this video, kind of that I want to read. So this is like one of the other ones that I want to continue reading. And then I have like one of those Animal Crossing mangas as well. I have like some cute fun little graphic novels here, and then I also have The Boy, the Mole, the Fox and the Horse. I have the like original edition and also the one that came out when the film came out. It is a really beautiful story. I was very late to the party because I only read it last year. But I really enjoyed it. It is, you know, a really beautiful story, and obviously it means a lot to a lot of people. Okay, so this might be my favourite shelf, or one of my favourite shelves. This is, yeah, very, very, like, beautiful, stunning. I love this shelf. This is my Laura Wood shelf. I finally have enough books by her to dedicate a shelf to, and I absolutely love it. So this is all of the books, so I have all of her YA books and her one adult book. I don't have any of her middle grade. I don't know if I'll ever read those, but these are all the books that I own. So I have all of her YA kind of from oldest to newest. So I have like Sky Painted Gold, Under a Dancing Star, Snowfall of Silver, Single Thread of Moonlight, and then the first two books in the like Avery trilogy series. I don't really know what it's actually called, but like Agency for Scandal, Season for Scandal, and then I have her first like debut adult novel, and I also got an ARC, very luckily. I don't think I'm going to be able to get an ARC unfortunately of her next adult book, but this is the ARC that I got for her debut adult, which came out last year. I'm so happy that I got this. I absolutely love this book, and I know I'm gonna love her new book when it comes out as well. And then I just have a few other copies, like I have the US hardback of Sky Painted Gold and also the US paperback. This book here is another Single Thread of Moonlight copy, but it's signed because not all of the books that I have by her are signed. And then we have on the far left here, we have Under a Dancing Star, the US hardback as well. Then I have a few trinkets as well. I have a candle, which is, I got in a subscription box, I think. It was inspired by Sky Painted Gold. I have a little like tag thing that says thank you on it, because Laura was selling a couple of years ago some of her books signed, so that came with it. And then I have some few bits from the PR box that I got for Under Your Spell. So I have a tea bag, which I need to drink. I do need to drink that. And also a candle. I'm assuming this smells like Theo, but it is really beautiful. And again, I don't really want to use it. And then I have a shell, because the sea is kind of like a location for some of the books here. So yeah, like I said, I do love this shelf. It is probably one of my favourites. So we're onto the middle shelf now, and this is like my favourite shelf. I don't think this is going to last very long, unfortunately. I think I'm going to have to like put these books back on the shelves that they were originally from, because I am running out of space, especially since, like I said, I have discovered manga. But I do love this, and I do love how this is decorated. It has an accidental Studio Ghibli theme. So I have some stickers here. I only got these recently. I don't know where to put them, but I want to display them for the time being because they're beautiful. So these are from Etsy. They're just a load of like Studio Ghibli like stamp stickers. You can't see from the back, but I do have 2 sheets of them. But yeah, they're really beautiful. So I'm just, displaying them here for the moment, especially since I also have this mug, and this mug is beautiful. It was not cheap, but I think it was worth every penny. So this is a House Moving Castle mug. And this company is from Indonesia, I believe, and they do all like handcrafted pottery, and I love this. They do all sorts of mugs and like ceramics. I do want the My Neighbor Totoro one as well, because I think that's beautiful. And I do also have a phone charm, that's it, that you kind of put, you put your hand through to keep it safe. But this is a My Neighbor Totoro one with like two Totoros and a soot sprite on it, very cute. But now let's actually get on to the books. So like I said, this is like my favourite shelf. It doesn't have all of my favourites, it just has some of them. So obvious one here, we have House Moving Castle. This is the Fairy Loot exclusive edition, and it is very, very beautiful. I have shown this on previous videos, so you can find those if you want to like see the details. But yeah, it is really, really beautiful. And like I said, I love Studio Ghibli, I love the film, and I really enjoyed the book as well. A few other books on the shelf, so I have Still Life by Sarah Winman. This is the original UK like Waterstones exclusive edition. Beautiful sprayed edges. This book is stunning. I absolutely adore it. Liza and Munchers by Francesca Zappia. One of my favourite books of all time, obviously because it's on this shelf, and I've read this 4 times now. It might be the book I've read the most out of all the books I own. Really love this. It's very personal to me, and I have lots of personal annotations as well. Word Slut by Amanda Montell. Love this. Listen to the audiobook, and I definitely want to reread it so I can annotate the book. And then I also have The Other Bennett Sister by Janice Hadlow. Love this OVS again. Loads of annotations, and I do want to reread this so I can re-annotate it. It is like a bit of a hefty book in terms of the size, but honestly, absolutely adored it. Then I have I Catch the Castle by Dodie Smith, one of my like favourite like classics. I guess it may be a modern classic, I don't really know what you call it, but I would say it's somewhere in the classic realm. I've read this twice and I do want to reread it. I think it is a really beautiful kind of age story. At the bottom here we have Must Do Better by Kate Weston, which is the second book in the Diary of a Confused Feminist series. I think I like this even more than the first book, which is saying something because the first book is really good. So this shelf is my second adult shelf, and again I really love this book. I think it's just a collection of books on here. Like I do specifically love these books, or like 99% of the books on here, and I just love kind of the colours and stuff like that. I think it's fun. But I have Stripped by Momo Chaviz. I love this book, and I hope if she gets it traditionally published, I'll definitely have to get the final copy as well. Then I have Charm Offensive and Kiss Her Once for Me by Alison Cotran. I love these books so much. I just think they're so fun. Then I have some fun books here, like Holly Jolly Ever After, Rosewater. I read this last month and I really enjoyed it. Cleopatra and Frankenstein, The Dream Department Store, Sunburn. We have the Bright Falls trilogy. Really love these. They're like super fun, like sapphic romance books. Sirens and Muses, again, love this. Love like the commentary on like art and all that sort of stuff. Obviously Blue Sisters and Watermoon. This was the last book that I finished reading when I'm currently filming this video. It's my first 5-star of the year. Absolutely adored it. It's so stunning, and it's, even though it's a fantasy, it's the kind of fantasy that I think I like. So yeah, I really love this book, and it was also an anticipated release of this year because it came out in January. So we're on the second to bottom shelf, and this is where the manga starts. So this is a Kimi ni Todoke shelf, and there are 30 volumes in this series. I have managed to get most of them now. I think I'm just missing volume 29. But I really love this shelf as well. I just love that I've got like little bits of art that are dedicated to it. I do have Keiki Slider here. I just put him here because I feel like he just seems to fit the vibe, even though he's obviously not an anime character. He is, I don't know, he's just cute. He's a vibe. I love him. And then I have some art. I got this off a shop on Etsy. I just feel like I needed to decorate this shelf a bit. So I love this with all our like main characters. And I also got this photo strip as well, which I think is super cute. Again, I really love this. I'll try and remember to leave the artist in the description down below if I remember. And then something else I have is the Studio Ghibli postcards. This is the first volume. I do have another one, which I'll show you in a minute. But this is just like basically a box with loads of different like screenshots from all of the Studio Ghibli films. It's really fun. I do have a few of them up in my room already. But yeah, as a Studio Ghibli fan, this is just like, you know, super fun. And then this is what my shelf looks like with like out all the decorations. Like I said, I've got one volume missing and I have not got any more space to put it. So I'm going to have to like display them slightly differently. But this is the first series, like manga series I ever read, and I really loved it. And I've watched the anime. I love the anime. So yeah, it's just very special to me since it's the first series that I ever read. And yeah, it's one that I will definitely continue to revisit. So we're on to the bottom shelf of my second bookcase now, and again this is another manga shelf. So the only things I have here, like in terms of decoration, I have this plant. I do need to put it in a better place really, because it needs some more light, but this is where it's living for the moment. I also have this Totoro pin of, you know, Totoro playing the cello, which is really cute. My friend got it me for Christmas this year, or last year should I say. And yeah, he's really cute. I don't know where I'm going to put him yet, so he's just living here for the moment. And then I have the second volume of the Studio Ghibli postcards. This only came out last year, and like I said, I really love Ghibli. So yeah, again, I do have some of these on my wall near my record player and near my bed. And then, as you can see, I have two manga series on here right now. I have the Given series, which I read over Christmas. Really enjoyed it. I do have a couple of vlogs like when I was reading this, so if you want to check those out to hear more of my thoughts on it, you can. And then I have the Horimiya series. I love the spines on these. I love how colourful they are. I'm currently reading this when I am filming this video. I'm up to volume 7, and I did get these fairly recently because I decided that I actually need to like buy a whole manga series and then just binge read it. So this is it for the moment, and I think it is really stunning. I really enjoy it. So I just thought I'd quickly show you the top of my like little bookshelf before we get to actually looking at the books. There's not much on here, but I really like this top of the shelf. So as you can see, I have a crystal. I think this is like a selenite tower. Love selenite. I also have some amiibo cards, some Animal Crossing amiibo cards. I don't think I can get these anymore, but I have 4 of these. They're like, you know, personalised ones from Etsy that are like tarot card themed. Then I have this gorgeous print here. This is a print for Only Yesterday, which is a Studio Ghibli film, very underrated in my opinion, and is my personal favourite Ghibli film. I got this from Affleck's last year on my birthday, and I've been dying to get some merch from it because there isn't a lot of merch for this film, so I'm really happy I got it. And then here I just have a little ghosty painting that I did a couple of years ago. I think he's cute, you know. I enjoy my little ghosty, and I think they go perfectly well with the top of this bookshelf. So we are moving on to the first shelf of like the small skinny bookshelf that I have. So this shelf is my first historical fiction shelf. I have 2. So obviously this is the first one, and then I don't have many things on here. I just have an old candle jar, and these all have like shells and sea glass from different beaches. It's something that my family have always done, and I love it. It's just like, you know, whenever I go to a beach, if I find some shells or some sea glass, I just pick it up. It's really cute. And then I have my little ghosty from the ghost shop in York. In Shambles. I went there a couple of years ago. I have been a few times, but I went to that shop specifically with my friends a few years ago. And this is the ghost that I picked out. I think that these are like mainly adult historical fiction, from what I can remember anyway. So we have some Natalie Jenner at the top here. We also have A Theatre for Dreamers by Polly Sampson. We have Still Life, which is my paperback copy. Illumination of Ursula Flight. Absolutely stunning book, highly underrated. The Mad Woman's Ball, again, I love this. This is the first translated fiction I've ever read. This is translated from French, and it is a really stunning book as well. We also have The Ringmaster's Daughter. And then I have Circe and Ariadne. These are the only Greek mythology books I have, and I must admit I didn't love them. I do want to keep hold of them for the moment. However, in case I need to like mention them in videos or anything, but yeah, I don't think, unfortunately, Greek mythology is my thing, which is a real shame because obviously a load of people love it and I really want to love it, but I just don't think it's my vibe, unfortunately. Then I just have some hardbacks here. So I have The Winter Garden, love this. This is in chemistry, also another fave. And then we have some Sophie Irwin books, and I just recently found out Sophie Irwin has another book coming out this year. And I'm really excited, especially because Ladies Guide for Scandal was one of my favourite, like, top books of last year. Absolutely loved it. So I'm really excited for her new book to come out later this year. So this is my second historical fiction shelf, and these are probably a mix of some of the ones that I have read not so recently and also more recently. I guess this is probably slightly more YA themed. Not intentionally, it's just, you know, kind of how the land has kind of lied, whatever you want to say, for this. I don't have many things on the shelf either. I just have this little quote that I got from Spark Company when I did an order with them, and then I have this spray bottle that I have loads of scrunchies on because apparently I don't have anywhere else to put them, so they go there instead. So I have one. This actually is a classic. I just don't have anywhere to put it right now. This is a beautiful copy of Persuasion by Jane Austen. This is really, really stunning. This is a purely display copy. I am not going to read this. I do want another copy that I can annotate, which I have mentioned earlier, but it's really beautiful. I just love it. Persuasion is one of my favourite Jane Austen books, so I'm really happy to have this. And like I said, there's nowhere else for me to put this right now, so it's just, you know, living here. Then at the top I have all of my Lex Croucher books. Infamous and Gwen and Art are my personal favourites. Then I have Medency Square, I have Guernsey Literary and Potato Peel Pie Society, loved this so much. Then I have Splinters of Scarlet, obviously a bit of Taylor Jenkins Reid. And I also have this special like Fairy Lit edition of Gwen and Art and Not in Love as well, because like I said, it's one of my fave books by them. So yeah, it's really beautiful. Again, I have hauled this in a previous video, so you can go and watch that if you want to see like the details of it. So we are onto our last shelf now on my like little bookcase, and this is my non-fiction shelf. It's probably my least favourite, not because of the books, it's just how it looks. I feel like certain types of books don't always look very aesthetic, and I think non-fiction is one of those, unfortunately. But that obviously doesn't diminish the quality of the books. So I don't have much on here. I have some book sleeves, and I have nowhere else to put them, so they live here. I have like 2 bigger ones and like a smaller one. I also have this pouch which my mum made me, which is actually quite useful for when I'm annotating. It's got elastic on the back. I can only use it for hardbacks really, so it's got a zip so I can put like pens and stickers and stuff in here and tabs, so when I'm annotating I can use this, so it is quite useful. And then I have another album which actually isn't Kesha. This is a Baby Queen album. This is the version that Alice Oseman designed, and I love it. I think it's stunning. Yeah, I just think it's really fun, so I decided to display it on these shelves. I think this is a shelf that I do want to maybe unhaul or move some books around from, but obviously this is what it looks like for the moment. So on the left here I have some like drag books, so I have a Trixie and Cartier book, I have a drag dictionary. These ones here are like the secret books. I have always wanted to read them, but now that I own them, I don't know when I'll actually get to them, but they're, you know, they're here for the moment. Then we have Big Magic, which is a classic. I Want to Die But I Want to Eat Tteokbokki. I read that last year. Anxiety of the Solution. We have Women Don't Own You Pretty. What a Time to Be Alive. Also have Friendaholic by Elizabeth Day. Ace, which was a really interesting read. And All the Young Men by Ruth Cookbucks and Kevin Carroll-Leary, which is probably one of my favourites. Probably one of my top 2 actually non-fiction books that I've ever read. It was so insightful, so interesting. Very underrated book as well, I highly recommend it. We finally got to the end of that. I genuinely do not know how long it took me to film that, or how long this video is going to be. We will see. Obviously you will know because you are watching it now. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I guess it kind of ended up being like a chatty kind of let's go through my bookshelves kind of video. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed it. I think it's just a little bit more fun and a bit more casual than kind of going through every single book on my shelf. And yeah, like I said, I do love my bookshelves, very, very much so. And I will not be doing a video like this for a while. Probably not until like, I'll probably do this sort of video every couple of years maybe. But yeah, I really hope you guys enjoyed this video and kind of got to see like a little bit more of my bookshelves, especially obviously my other ones that you don't really see during my videos, because they are my personal fave.
And I do love my bookshelves. They definitely are like a big part of my room, and I love them dearly. So I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. Like I said, it is a long time coming, but I'm so glad that I have finally got around to filming it. If you got to the end of this video, we're going to try this for the first time here. If you got to this part of the video and you don't know what to comment, please leave a like book stack emoji down in the comments below, or like a plant emoji, because obviously, like I said, this is like my like jungle library, like especially this one, because I have so many plants. But leave like a book stack or like a plant emoji in the comments down below so I know that you got to this part of the video. Let's see how we do with this, because I've never done that before. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you have not already. I will leave the links to my Goodreads, Fable and social media in the description down below for you guys if you would like to see more bookish content that you will not find on this channel. Thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate you so much, and I will see you again very soon. Bye guys! And I'd just like to quickly point out that Maestro has been on my bed this whole time whilst I have been messing around with tripods and angles. He's been such a good boy. I honestly thought he would have run away by now. But he's just, you know, chilling like a good sleepy boy that he is there. And totally not fazed for the fact that I'm filming him right now.